Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. In this video, we will be continuing our Solitaire Sunday playthrough of the career of Hans-Heinz Augenstein. This is Nightfighter Ace from Compass Games, designed by Gregory M. Smith. This is the second part. We are still in August of 1943, the very first month of the game. And we will begin right away. We're going to jump right in. If you didn't watch the first part and would like to get the background on where we are, please feel free to do so. But we're just going to pick right up here, and the first step, of course, here on our sequence of play, is to roll for the raid target. So we roll here on chart A1 with 2d6. We get a 10, and the 10 is Berlin. So our target for this raid is Berlin. Now we're going to check weather. We're going to roll 1d10. We got a 1, which is good weather. So we have good weather. Our moon for this one is bright, which gives us a +1. And next is checking for random electronics failure. For that, we again roll 2d6. And we get a 10, and a 10 is secondary radar, which we do not have, so that is nothing. Next up is we move from the takeoff endurance box to the raid location endurance box. So that's here. We are, of course, in our Dutch base. So we're going to move to Berlin, which is right here. Now we're going to check for spoof raid. It's a 7. That is no effect. Okay. All right, so we're going to roll for interception here. So we roll 1d10 on table B1, which is this table right here. And we get a 3. And the 3 is no interception. Now, there are some die roll modifiers, which we don't. We have a +1, which would still only make it a 4. We don't have that. We do have an operational radar, so that would make it a 5. And that's all we've got. So we move to our next box. We roll again. We got a 1. That will again be nothing. Move to our next box. Roll again. 3, which again is nothing. And the last box we have, we get a 9. So 9 is good. So here 9 is an interception. Okay. But we do get a +1 for the bright moon, makes it a 10. And then we get a second one for the operational radar. So that is going to be an 11, which means we get our first bomber stream of the campaign. Okay, first step is to figure out what type of bomber we are shooting at here. We are in the August column here, so we're going to roll 2d6. We got an 11, which unfortunately for us is a Mosquito 9 H25. If we look at our bomber mat here, the Mosquito 2, Mosquito 9 H2. I'm assuming that this is this. Their speed is 18. Our speed down here is 17, which means they're faster than we are. So unfortunately, that means we cannot attack, so we have to move on to the landing. So we did not get our chance to show the bomber stream after all. So now we need to roll for landing. Okay, so we're going to roll for our landing here. Got a 7. Now here we have 2 to 10 is a safe landing. We don't have any of these, so we're okay. So that ends that mission. That was kind of disappointing, but we're going to move on to the next mission. Now for this one, the moon has no effect. So it's a 0. So we're just going to start off by rolling for our target to find out what kind of target, or what the raid's target is. It's number 9, which is Nuremberg, Frankfurt. So we're going to move our here. And whoops. Now we'll check for weather. It's a 6. That is good weather, so I'll leave that there. Now we'll check for our electronics failure. And that's a 3, which is main radar. So that's bad because we do have a main radar. So I'm going to put it as in op. That's going to hurt us on our intercept. I know you can't see that, but here on our aircraft card is the main radar. It is now inoperative. So that's not good. All right, well, it's bound to happen eventually. Now we'll roll for spoof raid. We got a 5. That is no effect. All right, so we move this to Frankfurt. And let's start rolling for interception. So we're going to have a -1 for no working radar and no effect from the moon. And we rolled a 5, which is no interception. We're probably not going to intercept anybody here unless I can roll like a 12 or 11 or 12. That's the only thing that's going to get it for us. So that's 2 down. And that's a 2. So that's not it either. So now, last try. Nope. And now for our landing. Dropped a die. We got a 5 and a 3 is an 8. And that is a safe landing. So that was a washout. 2 missions down and nothing happening so far. Okay, so we'll move on. Next to last mission here. It is dark, so we get a -1 on visibility from the moon. And we will roll to see what target is. The target is 6, which is, again, Nuremberg in the Frankfurt zone. So we will put that there. Now we will roll for weather. And we get a 7, which is good weather. Oh, I'm supposed to roll a D10. Sorry. I think I did that last time too. And it's a 1, which is still good weather. So the weather is good. And let's see. So after that, we will check for random electronic failure. And then we got a 5, which is no effect. And now we will do the spoof raid. And that's a 6, which is no effect. Okay, so done okay so far. So our target is Nuremberg, which is in Frankfurt area. So we're going to start there. We get a 10. So a 10, I believe, is going to be an interception. 9-10 is interception, as you can see right here. Now we do get a -1 for the moon, so that's a 9. But we get a +1 for our radar set, which again makes it a 10. So with a 10, that is an interception. So now let's roll and see what kind of bomber we've got on our A3 aircraft target chart. It is a 9, and a 9 is a Halifax. So we've got Halifax. Let me mark this down on my log real quick. Okay, so we're going to start from long range. Now, our Halifax is here. It's only a speed of 14, so that helps us. I'm going to actually just lay it here, and we'll track as things go. So the first thing we have to do is check for, I'm going to just use regular guns. So we have forward cannons here with firepower 6. That's what we'll use. So as I said, I'm going to start at long range, which will give me potentially three passes. So you flip the card and you look, And it says you are not spotted, you fire first. Okay, so now we flip the next card. And our firepower is a 6. That's 3 hits. So now we have to roll to determine what those 3 hits are. Oh, I didn't say an aiming point either. We're going to fire at the airframe. So we're going to roll our D10. We got a 4, which is random wing. Okay, so let's roll a D6 and see. We'll go even is the, well, we'll do starboard, I guess, since that's the higher of the two. So we'll put damage on there. Now a second hit is a 5, and that is controls. So we'll put a 5 on the control, damaged rather, on the control surface. And now one more. It's a 9, and a 9 is starboard engine. So we'll put starboard engine. We'll do engine 3. I mean, I guess I should roll for that. Here, we'll just do odds evens, so it's even, and we'll put it on engine 4. Okay, now we flip a card for their attack on us. Defensive fire, 3 hits, as you can see there at the bottom. Focus, thank you. All right, 3 hits on us, so now we have to roll. So we roll here on the bottom on our Nightfighter damage chart, and it's a 1d6 plus 1d6, so black will be the first digit. We get a 44. A 4-4 is a homing device, which we do not have. So that's 1 hit. That is basically minor damage. Then we get a 24, which is oxygen. So we'll put a damage on our oxygen. I will show you this after I finish putting it out. Okay, let's do our third hit check here. That's a 36. 3-6. Controls. Controls. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a problem if we get hit again. We will try a second pass. So we're going to flip a card. Now this time you ignore this part right here. Right, so the bomber will begin corkscrew. The bomber is already corkscrewing because we've attacked it. We're now at medium range. So we get 5 hits this time, as you can see up here. And their fire is simultaneous with ours. So let's roll for the damage that we apply to the bomber. And, oh, one thing is because they're corkscrewing, that 5 actually becomes a 4. So we get 4 hits. And I would say again, airframe, just because that's what we hit last time. We hit the controls again. So that will take another point off their controls. So that's good. Second hit is 3. 3 is airframe. So that's 1 damage to the airframe. Next hit is 12, which is the... Oh, I'm rolling D6s and I should have been rolling D10s. All right, I'm going to start over because I remember what we got. So we have 4 hits to apply. First one's a 3, which is airframe, so that'll just go back to what it was. And then the next one is a 9, which is starboard engine. So let's see, odds or evens. Odds, so both of the starboard engines have now been damaged. And the third hit is a 7. No effect. Okay, that's great. And 9 again, which again will be the starboard engine. So let's find out which one. It's a 1. That would be the odd engine. So that's this guy right here. So this engine is now in op. I can take this off. Engine 3 is out. And now we'll roll for their damage against, or rather pull the card for it. Defensive fire 2 hits, which becomes 1 hit because they are corkscrewing. So now we'll roll to see what they do to us. 26. 26 is controls. Well, that's bad. Controls are out. So with our controls inoperative, we're going to have to bail out. So we have to parachute. So here you roll 1d6, and a 1 to 5 will be safely parachuted, 6 would be light wound, 7 serious wound, 8 or more KIA. We do not have any of the skills or anything, but we also don't have any wounds. So basically we just need to roll a 1 to 5. We'll do the gunner first, I guess, or the funker. And he rolls a 1, so he's safe. Safely parachutes. And the pilot rolls a 3, and he safely parachutes as well. So that ends that mission, obviously, as we were basically took too much damage to the control surfaces, and the plane therefore cannot be controlled, and we had to, well, I almost said eject, but that's a jet thing. We had to open up the canopy and jump. All right, so we're going to lose our last sortie of August because we have to make our way back to base, but we do get to check to see if this bomber was shot down, did not make it back home. So you always have a 1 in 10 chance. You roll your d10, and on a 1, it doesn't make it back. But you get to add for damage that you may have done. Now, we did knock out an engine, so that adds an additional 1. So on a 1 or a 2, this bomber would still get shot down. Look at that, it's a 1. All right. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better. So we did shoot down the Halifax. So I will give myself a second kill for that. There is optional rules that can help determine whether or not, you may have shot it down, but it wasn't confirmed, or et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, that will do it for this bomber. Now, the thing is that essentially refit mission that we're going to miss, or sortie that we're going to miss, is going to mean that we won't get our 4 sorties in, or to make a total of 8 in August. But every 4th sortie you would check for advanced, well, you'd get an experience point. And we don't get that because we have not had 4 sorties, rather. We've only had 3. So I think what I will do here is I am going to, well, let's take this off first. And I think what I'm going to do here is we're going to roll 1 more mission for September. So we will start all over again. And we got a 9, and a 9 on our A1 raid chart is Nuremberg. Again, that is the 3rd one for us here out of 4. And because of the mist, we missed the no moon, which would be a -2 on intercept. So this actually is, if there was going to be one to miss, it would be that one. But so now we're going to roll for weather. And we got a 9, which is bad weather. We put bad weather, which is going to make our landing +2. And that's not good. And then we'll move on to checking for random electronics failure. And we get a 9 there. It is a no effect. 5 to 9 is no effect. Okay. So, yeah, we're okay. All right. And spoof. That's the last thing we got to check. Spoof, a 3, which is no effect. Okay. So our raid again is in Nuremberg. So we'll put this in the Frankfurt area. It's right there. And we're going to roll for interception. And that is a 7. And a 7 is no interception. We also get a -1 for dark, so that would have made it a 6. So even with the radar operator, we've got, it's still just a 7. This time we get another 7, which is the same thing. So we move on to the third of our 4 endurance boxes. And that's another 7. Last try, last chance for romance. Let's go. Nope. Okay. So now we're back at our landing box and we get a +2 on our landing. So we need an 8 or less. And we got an 8. So, man, that was great. Okay. So that actually ends our video here, but at the end of our mission we do get to bump up 2 experience points, and I may spend them, but I'm not going to do that in this video. We'll talk about that next time. So for now, that's going to do it. I'm Joe. This is the Hexed Encounter channel. Before I go, as always, if you would like or would consider liking, sharing, and or subscribing, that would be awesome and much appreciated. But if not, I hope you will come back and see another video or view another video here in the future. But for now, I'm done. We're out. Until next time, as always, happy gaming.